And 10 on Your Side continues to follow sequestration and how it affects Hampton Roads.
Well, tonight, local lawmakers are reacting to President Obama's State of the Union address. 10 on Your Side's Jason Marks just got off the phone with some of them. He joins us live now from the newsroom with that story. Jason.
Alvita, one topic we really wanted to hear from the president tonight, and one topic we hoped he touched on, was to how he planned to combat military cuts. Now, he wants not to cut the military, but invest in it. Surprisingly, though, the president only mentioned the word sequester one time.
As long as I'm Commander-in-Chief, we will do whatever we must to protect those who serve their country abroad, and we will maintain the best military the world has ever known.
President Obama made it a point. He wants not to cut the military, but make it stronger.
Let's agree.
We're only 2 weeks away from that March 1st deadline. That's the time when sequestration would begin, and come with it some serious cuts to the military. And it's a deadline the president believes needs to be avoided.
These sudden, harsh, arbitrary cuts would jeopardize our military readiness. And that's why Democrats, Republicans, business leaders, and economists have already said that these cuts, known here in Washington as the sequester, are a really bad idea.
Last week, the Navy made 2 major announcements fearing these budget cuts. The scheduled deployment of the USS Truman was delayed, and just days later, the Navy delayed a scheduled overhaul of the USS Lincoln. Virginia lawmakers hope they can work with their colleagues and the president to avoid any military cuts that they say could devastate Hampton Roads.
Well, I was looking for a specific plan that would avert sequestration, and though the president touched on that, nothing definitive was forthcoming. And this is disappointing to me. I hope that he'll provide more clear leadership on this in the days and the weeks ahead.
The big issue for Virginia is how we mitigate these cuts so they don't cost us thousands of jobs and they don't impact our national defense. That's what we're going to be working on. Hopefully we'll do that on a bipartisan basis.
There's a March 1 sequester. What's magic about March 1? It's not like the world's gotten safer suddenly or the economy is so much better. This is a self-inflicted wound that we don't have to do.
Lawmakers are very optimistic that the sequester can be avoided. Senator Kaine believes Congress can delay the sequester, and he plans to reach out along with Congressman Forbes and Ridgel to get Congress to do just that. In the newsroom, Jason Marks, 10 on Your Side.
Now, before the president's address, members of the Senate Armed Forces Committee held a hearing on the impact of sequestration on the Department of Defense.
If sequestration occurs, it will severely limit our ability to implement our defense strategy. It'll put the nation at greater risk of coercion, and it will break faith with men and women in uniform.
The automatic cuts take effect on March the 1st. They're the result of Congress's failure to trim the deficit by $1.2 trillion over a decade. Last week, outgoing Defense Secretary Leon Panetta said that the U.S. is at risk of becoming a second-rate military power, and the sequester isn't prevented. Count on us, of course, to continue to follow any developments related to sequestration actually, as the deadline approaches. We do have continuing coverage on Wavy.com. Just click on this story on the homepage.